Welcome, welcome. Yeah, look at that. My name is May. I've done this a few times now. I've actually done it for over a week. I'm trying to do it once a day, checking in. Just keep doing it. See what happens. Hope you're having a good August 25th, 2022. Um, this is the place where I shuffle some cards and just kind of riff off of it based on my studying. I've been studying tarot for over 15, 16 years. Just think it's pretty awesome. Today hasn't been exactly how I thought it was going to turn out, but like every day this week, it really comes out in the cards, so I'm trying to be as neutral as I can. Whew. Well, I was just thinking about what deck I was going to use today and making sure. Oh, big yawn. It's another day, I guess. This shirt, I'm still trying to figure out, but just going over some of the pieces I made this summer, and I got to share it with a couple of friends, and as you can see in the background, there's a few pieces that I've made so far. I guess I do so much more than just tarot reading, but that is my medium. Sometimes I have more energy than others. And today, I've been holding a lot of space for where others are at. Now I gotta hold some space for where I'm at. I keep having these recurring dreams about being stuck somewhere on the other side of the world and keep forgetting my boots. Keep going back and thinking that I'm gonna find those boots, but I never find the boots. Today, I guess I'm gonna use my Hermetic deck. It's the first deck I was ever given. It was really important to me, even though I wasn't able to keep the integrity of the box. Cards have followed me for 16 years, and they were the inspiration to my tarot decks. My interest in astrology, more like obsession, nature, learning to communicate with other animals, and more like listen to them communicate with me, I guess. Consciously just letting it all go. I've said everything I wanted to say. I did this visualization thing earlier, and I think it was really productive because I finally got to say all the things that I wanted to say. I don't need to say it anymore. I don't need, because I'm listening. Let's do 5 cards again, shall we? I'm also very tired. So there's that. That's okay, right? The start here is the Knight of Pentacles. As I said, this is the Hermetic deck. When I started out with, you can tell it has like a lot of these extra symbols that I incorporated into my modern deck. Pentacles, Earth, Knight, Messenger, Lord of the wild and fertile land. So all this life growing around, he's just passing through. And he's got like a spirit guide that looks like it's got antlers and wings. Very mysterious creature. He shines the light of David as both a shield and the light that he sees to travel through the cornfields. His message comes from both Leo and Virgo. It's that time of the year, right about now, when we're going into Virgo season. It's time to harvest. It's time to prepare for the winter. Even though it doesn't necessarily feel like it today, 'cause I don't know about you, but if you've been outside today and you're in Minneapolis, you notice that sun is kind of a lot, but it wasn't like in it. Like temperature wise, amazing. I was actually kind of chilly when I left. I was like, I should have put a sweater on, but by the time that I biked back, oh, it was toasty. So also, in my interpretation of Knight of Pentacles, it is a message of reliability or like dependability, something that you can count on. And it's like in the same way you can always count on the summer becoming fall eventually. And the the things are going to change kind of rapidly in preparation to get you into the place that you're trying to be in. Um, and this could also be in reference to, you know, if you're in between the financial situation. I know when I heard the news this morning, I didn't I don't really read the news or listen to it anymore because mental health, oh, everything. Not because I don't care, not because I don't want to know, but I just am not able to always take in everything. And in addition to that, I did discover that there's a possibility that my student loans could end up getting wiped out. I know that's like a relief for a lot of people, and maybe it's only going to cover so much, but honestly, like that is the reason why I haven't continued going to school. You know, I already am in student loan debt and can't really do the same things that I did before. It's really risking the biscuit as a office term. If you ever watch The Office, I don't want to risk the biscuit. Now, this is really, I'm realizing every time I put a card up to the screen that not only is it upside down because it's reverse, but it's backwards. So, it's the Four of Wands and it's reversed. In the traditional, it's the Lord of Perfected Work. It's got both Venus and Aries in here. Strangely enough, we got 2 geese, 2 rams, 2 hands, but it's a Four of Wands. It talks about, to me, when we have the 3, like we talked about the other day with fire and action, that is about seeking opportunity or following one's bliss. Whereas the 4 is more like you're following your passion and now you're finding people of like-minded interest. You're coming together to make the quote-unquote perfected work. You are working up and balancing these 2 different personalities, the ram and the bull, basically. Or the ram and the scales, because Venus rules both Taurus and Libra. We have 2 flames within Venus above Aries in this image. It's using some both feminine and masculine aspects. Building something with others, taking action, letting the flame continue to, you started the fire, you got to keep putting kindling on it. And then sometimes that requires more than just ourselves. And it's reversed, so it's learning how to ask for help, learning how to look out, reach out to others that have the same goals. Then we have the Hermit. I don't know why, but this dude, I relate to this dude so hard right now. Like, they're chilling in the comfiest clothes. Like, what has he got? Sandals? No, he's barefoot. The snake is talking to him. And right above his head is, like, the triangle going upwards, which is masculine. And then it's holding up this, like, what appears to be an important item, and it's woven, hung up by this triangle with a random face on it, which, by the way, if I saw that in real life, I don't know how I'd feel about that. It looks like he's like laying against a giant corn husk. Well, maybe it's a wheat grain, because like on the bottom that kind of looks like a wheat grain. Is the Magus of the Voice of Light. It's an introspection card. It is a time to go inward and discover what needs to be discovered. Mercury's in Virgo in this one. So this is like very strong analyzing card. Major life lesson. You're looking at your life, looking at your choices, thinking about What could you do differently? What are you doing well? What do you still need to work on? That's what's coming to me. Excuse me. I am so sleepy, but I wanted to do this, so. Oh, I'm gonna go play The Sims after I'm done doing this. Because the day is already almost done, and it didn't turn out exactly how I hoped it would, so I'm making the most of it and trying to just do this routine thing. Okay, number 4 is the Seven of Pentacles. Again, it's probably hard for me to read it right off the screen. Lucky for you, I can also read upside down and backwards. Lord of Success unfulfilled, but it's in reversed. Again, Seven of Pentacles, my version is like it's frustrating, it's limited perspectives. I've also read it interpreted as long-term results. You're waiting for the long-term results, like you've been invested in something for a long time, and that you're creating sustainability. So when it's in reverse, I feel like the challenge is where can we be more active about sustainability? Where can we redirect our focus on the things that are good for the long term versus the short term? And Taurus is ruling this card, and I want to say Saturn. Saturn is having a hand at this. So Saturn and Taurus. Saturn's also really restrictive because it rules Capricorn, but I think it complements Taurus because they're both Earth, and it's more of the day-to-day stuff. So we got one more, but looks like mostly day-to-day stuff except for this major life lesson, the Hermit. Yeah, all mostly day-to-day stuff because now here we are at the last card. Got the Five of Swords. There's 5 swords there. Things are getting crazy, especially with Aquarius and Venus together in this way. I didn't even realize till now there's all these birds like at the end of the swords. It's just as bad as hell. And then they're striking up. Now this looks like a bunch of bags of like money or something, and that sword has just gone through it. Or they're like, you know, it's a discord of some type of action, something that was valuable being destroyed by this giant sword. There's no chance. It's kind of like the mental defeat attitude that things, when we start judging what we're doing or why we're doing it, we can be we can be quick to make an assumption that is actually can be harmful. If we're trying to accomplish a task, it's more likely if we're on this roll of like, when does that ever work? Dot dot dot. And it's like only in those moments have I learned that I am capable of doing this. I didn't know I was capable of doing this, but here I am. And that I think is related to the other definition I use for the Five of Swords, which is mental energy. It's air energy. It's about defeat, and it's about overcoming isolation. Using this tool is all the more reason why we need to have discussions with others, debates, create something that is not about someone trying to prove something to someone else as much as it's about opening a conversation and saying, hey, does this seem like cognitive? Does this seem clear, concise, whatever? And when you have that feedback, you're going to have a better time learning that information instead of someone just saying yes, no, I don't know. When you actually have real discussions and real communication, you can get much further along with understanding levels of information. Is something I talked about today, and that seems to be coming up here. So, pulling it all together to overcome mental defeat, one needs to think about the long term. What's going to be sustainable? What can I focus on? Be willing to go within, reflect, introspect, understand that you can't do it alone. As I said at the end, having discussions and getting people together and on it is super helpful because it only adds more value to already the idea that you started out with. And as a result, harvest when the time is right, so to speak. Gather everything that you need to bring something to the table. Anyway, that's all I got. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.